wanted to take this episode and give some good news in terms of the 2024 recruiting class for Rutgers men's basketball. An impressive run going on right now with all of the signees, and yes, signees I say, including Dylan Harper, who announced this past weekend on his birthday that in fact he had signed officially with the program his letter of intent back in November. All four active players in the 2024 recruiting class for this current high school season are playing in their respective championship games of their state tournament. The one caveat there is Bryce Dortch, who plays in prep school in Massachusetts and did play in the prep class AA championship game. It's not a complete state tournament. It's a smaller bracket, but his team did make it to the title game for the Class AA for the NEPSAC, New England Prep School Athletic Council. They lost on Sunday in the championship game. Bryce Dortch, had a very good season, had a bunch of double-doubles. Online, I'll get his final stats soon from the program, and I'll do a recap of all their seasons once it's over. But he was a high-impact player in the New England Prep League. New England Recruiting Report 2.0 has him ranked as the fifth best prospect in Massachusetts, and so does 24/7 Sports. He's a top 150 recruit nationally per 24/7 Sports. Got his team to the NEPSAC Class AA championship game. Lathan Somerville. Also, I should mention Dylan Grant, another recruit. That's a smoke signee. Plays for the family AAU team. Transferred to Canada. He's not currently playing this season, but that's not going to impact anything in terms of him coming to Rutgers. He is signed, but he is the lone player not in the state finals simply because he's not playing right now. Lathan Somerville had a monster performance. He plays in Illinois, obviously a huge state. If you ever watched this, ironically, it was on last night, Hoop Dreams. I grew up to that. That was a big deal when it came out, that documentary. Both players in that played in Illinois scholastically and went to the prestigious Upstate, which is Made State, which is the Final Four, played in the University of Illinois campus, Champaign. And Lathan Somerville has led his team to states for the first time in 14 years. The Richwood Knights, which is obviously apropos. And he had a monster performance taking out he had 32 points, 14 years. Yeah, Richwood's Knights. They knocked off top-ranked Harvey Thornton 58-52. This was on yesterday. And they are in the Class 3A state finals. They're the 8th seed. They're 29-4 this year. They'll play number 3 Chicago DePaul College Prep, who's 33-2. The defending 2A champs, coached by the great Tom Kleinschmidt. If you're old like me, you remember him at DePaul. He was also a pro for a little bit. A 10-year pro career, a little bit in the NBA. Somerville scored 11 points in the third quarter, led them with 32 points, had 11 rebounds, 3 blocks. It was their 4th consecutive win over a top 10 team. And he outplayed Illinois' recruit for Thornton. Where is he? He's a top recruit as well, Morez Johnson Jr., and he got the best of him there. So huge game for Lathan Somerville. He's been a monster his senior season. His stock just keeps rising. And I think, listen, fair or unfair, I think expectations at this point, physically he's got to develop, but he's got a very versatile game for a big guy. He started out as a guard, younger in his career. His father was a wing, played professionally overseas with TJ Thompson, the Rutgers assistant. But he has guard skills for a big man. He can step out and hit a jump shot, but he can bang inside, defensively, rim defender, rebounder. He's super intriguing. Like if he was the top recruit coming in, he would be getting way more attention right now. He just happens to be coming in with 2 of the top 3 recruits in the entire class. But Lathan Somerville, high hopes for him. I think he could have not only just make an impact as a freshman, but a great career at Rutgers. He's not going to be a one and done type player. He's the type of guy that he's got all Big Ten potential for sure. And he's got a diverse skill set, and I'm really excited to see him play. But he is showing out like a stud high school player that he is. So good luck to him. He plays 11:15 on Friday in Champaign. So I'll have updates there. Then we have Ace Bailey, who in Georgia, of course, had a monster game once again. He had 32 points as well, 15 rebounds, led number 13, McEachern, Powder Springs, Georgia, to a 63-56 victory over Wheeler of Marietta, Georgia on Saturday afternoon. It's in the Georgia Class 7A state semifinals. So they reached the title game now. So Sommerville's in the Final Four, right? So he's technically in the state semis. You have Ace Bailey now in the Class 7A championship game. They will be, said he hit a 3 beyond NBA range from the left wing to extend their lead late. And they have advanced to the Georgia High School Class 7A state title game facing off on March 9th. This article, at least Grayson versus Milton, doesn't seem like it's been decided. He's continued a strong play in state tournaments, put up 33 and 16 in the quarterfinals. He had 33 and 14 in the round of 16. He had 33 and 17 in the opening round. So he is averaging 33 points and 7. How many rebounds did he have in this game? 47, 56. Geez, 15, 33 and 15. He's averaging in the state tournament. Ace Bailey coming to Rutgers, dominating in the Georgia State tournament. And then, of course, New Jersey's own Dylan Harper on Monday night led Don Bosco Prep to a 56-42 win over St. Peter's Prep in the New Jersey non-public A sectional title game. 38 points for Dylan Harper. Dominated the game. They went on an 11-0 run to start the fourth quarter. And just a huge performance for him. They will now face Paul VI on Friday at the Rack in the non-public state title game. Tremendous senior season for Dylan Harper as well. And just shows the impact that he's had. You know, he hasn't gotten to the state final before. You've lost the 2 previous years in the state tournament. Lost to Bergen Catholic early rivalry game, of course, last year. Got upset. So big redemption for him and his teammates, the Ironmen of Don Bosco, going to the non-public final on Friday at the Rack. You have Ace Bailey playing in the Georgia Class 7A state final as well. And then Lathan Somerville playing in the Final Four in Illinois on Friday. I'll have updates on all of them, but obviously we know the recruiting rankings. We know their skill sets to a degree, right? But they're winners. They are winners. And I think that is it's probably an underrated facet of their profile as recruits, as incoming freshmen, because it's rare that, you know, obviously you assemble a class of this regard, this degree, classification, whatever, credentials, accolades, but, you know, so much now in recruiting is AAU, and they all played for good AAU teams, but, you know, to perform at such a high level in the high school, at the high school level, at the state tournament level, you know, you don't always see the best recruits. A lot of them are in prep, right? So they don't really have a natural state tournament. And obviously, you know, Dylan Harper is at Don Bosco Prep, but New Jersey has always had a pretty good state tournament setup for the prep schools. And, you know, Bailey and Somerville are big public schools. And they're all excelling. They're all dominating. They're all leading their teams far in their own tournaments. And that's just tremendous experience that even they didn't have before, you know, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. So it's invaluable, and it's just adds to their appeal and their value in terms of coming to Rutgers next season. Super excited for it. That'll be next season. We'll have plenty of time to talk about it. But I thought that it was important to recognize, you know, Bryce Dortch, in terms of being one of the best prep players and the best prospects in Massachusetts, but playing in the prestigious NEPSAC. These guys all come from high level high school basketball, and that is huge as well. Sometimes in terms of how recruits get evaluated, and in terms of where they played competition wise, these guys are all competing at a really high level in high school. And that's just going to help in terms of the development once they get to the collegiate level. Obviously, a completely different level and a lot of adjustments, a lot of changes have to be made in terms of just, their I don't want to say changes in terms of their habits, but just, body development, game development, film study. There's a lot of new habits that have to be created to continue your own development and success at the collegiate level. There's no reason to believe that they're not going to embrace it all. I mean, these guys are gamers, and it's just great to see them excelling in this past few days in their own respective state tournaments. Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, Lathan Somerville, Bryce, Dortch. Very exciting for Rutgers to have this caliber of recruits soon to join the program. I'll have plenty more on Rutgers basketball this week. I'm going to have a wrestling preview on, I think I'm going to put it out Wednesday, maybe Thursday, for the Big Tens with Eric Vesper. I also have another guest coming on later this week to talk some basketball. I'll have a preview for Thursday night at Wisconsin. So plenty more here coming at the Scarlet Faithful podcast. Thanks so much for listening once again.